Hi, Robert Chuckrow here. When I studied with Professor Cheng Man-ch in the 1970s, there were a lot of students who talked about something called swimming on land or swimming in air. And I had no idea what it meant, and I don't think that they did. As time went on, I read more of his books as they became translated into English, and almost every one had a section or a chapter on swimming on land or swimming in air. And it wasn't until I studied with my teacher Harvey sober that it became clear what swimming on land is. And basically, it is Taiji, internal strength, or what I call expansive strength. And once you feel it, you don't need that image anymore of water or air. All you need to do is just develop the internal state. So I'll show you how I learned it and how to do it. Start with the feet parallel, about a shoulder width apart, and bring the elbows out a little bit and forward, and rotate the hands so that the palms face the rear, and feel water coming from behind. Imagine water coming from behind, pushing your hands forward and relaxing as much as you possibly can of contractive strength. Imagine that you're pushing back on that water. In doing so, you're going to start to feel a tingling in the palms, in the heels of the hand, maybe along the inside of the forearm, each forearm, and in other places. And that is your own bioelectricity that you are creating and sending through your nerves to the arms by that image, by having that visualization. The idea of exerting strength in a relaxed state, relaxed of contractive strength state, and you can now up that feeling, up that strength. Imagine the water is stronger and that you're pushing back on it more, but don't use ordinary strength to do that. And as you feel it, you can do little tests, bring the elbows in different places, and see if rotate the hands a little bit, see if the movement that you made increases or decreases the effect. And then keep upping that. Keep upping that. And that is Taiji, that's expansive strength. And then as you do the beginning move, and come up, feeling the weight of the arms, heavy, heavy, heavy. Make them as heavy as you can. And when you can't lift them anymore that way, even if they're very low, as mine are, extend the fingers using the expansion of the palms of the hands and the insides of the fingers, not the outsides, to open the hands and put more electricity in. That's what it is. And lower it. And now as you lower it, focus on the heels of the hands and the insides of the forearms and pour more electricity on. Feel the effect, the buzzing, the electrical effect, the expansion of the arms, the inflation of the arms, the activation of everything inside. And as you get to the lowest point that you can without using contractive strength, release the wrists and then repeat the pushing back, or feeling water pushing your hands forward and you're pushing back against them. And keep doing that. And that will generate expansive strength. Then you can put it into all the movements of the form, or into Qigong or Neigong, and that is the way to generate a lot of expansive strength. So at this point, from doing this kind of thing, not necessarily taking it to that degree in the form, but bring a little bit in the form, but mostly in just Qigong, Neigong situations, I can have enough expansive strength in my arm that students can push very hard on my arm and they feel like they're pushing on a wall. And that's from doing this. That's from doing this. You can do it in the form, you can do it in Qigong, Neigong, and it's Nei-Jin, internal strength. That's what you want to develop. Cheng Man-ch in one of his books called it tenacious strength. Yang Cheng Fu talked about it the way I did with this beginning move. If you look in the books, you'll see he talked about that. Thank you.